So welcome to the 2012 relaunching of the TheWolvesDen YouTube page, and to start off, we're dealing with a broken review, first one of the year. We're talking about Grae's You and Me and Everyone We Know. And let's talk about it on a production tip. We actually have M phase on the board. The first minute and 30 seconds is pretty much straight instrumentation, and what's beautiful about it is that you have these horns. So at the beginning you have a chord, the chord is then echoed, and then you have these horns come in, and they're beautiful. The thing is that there's a certain tone to them that makes them more just beautiful. They're beautifully sad, so it's a little bit drooping and kind of sets a tone for the track. People were actually so impressed by this minute and 30 seconds, people started tweeting Just Blaze, believing that, hey, he must have produced it, sounds amazing. As he had to remind him again, it was M phase. And as I said, we have these horns, and then he throws horns louder than that, trying to build some sort of a crescendo. As soon as the crescendo hits, you have the beat drop and the drums kick in, and you have these French samples. I haven't figured out why you have these French samples, but they're there. They sound awesome, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then back to basics, as Grae says, and she starts her lyrics. And lyrically, this is a pretty impressive track. We have 3 aspects to Grae's lyrics that are pretty interesting. We have the story aspect. So there's this line where she says, I say rap verses because you get them all. And what makes that pretty interesting is that kind of gives you an insight to the type of relationship they had, what type of inside jokes worked, and I think that's very important. When you think of a song, the song's particularly talking about relationships, and you think about what makes relationships interesting. You have these inside jokes that makes them work, and I think by giving us a little highlight like that, you have like, oh, that's what made their thing. These are the small things that made them tick, and that's pretty wonderful. And she corrects herself about 3 times, and that was pretty funny, and you think about, okay, that was funny to us. Imagine them in the relationship would make it more funny because something they probably talked about before. And that's pretty awesome. We have the line that I think is very interesting on a metaphorical tip, where you have, I swear I never love another if this really worked out, but this is sort of like fitness workouts from the couch. And that's a really clever metaphor, clever idea, really original concept. And so it's nice to hear fresh metaphors. And we don't get a lot of that, these days. We hear kind of rehashed or similar. This is really unique and unique to Grae because it still portrays this kind of humor in there, and I really thought that was pretty awesome. In addition to that, what I found interesting is in terms of how she wrote it out. So we have this line that says, I stopped being the one for you, I think. And then she has a pause, too much. So that I think ends a bar while beginning the other bar because she creates a space. And that's pretty wonderful. And I guess I really think that this song works together both on a production and lyrical level. And I guess from how I interpret the title to mean is that it comes to like 3 parts of our relationship. You usually start with you, them, and the social circle, because that's usually how you meet them. Then you and them, and then you try to go to us. So I see her using this song as some form of way to say, alright, it was us. I'm starting getting an idea to you and me, now I have to throw you back into the social circle where you begin. And that's really why I think it works well. It's a sad thing, and it's kind of complemented by the horns, and she does it with a slightly comical way, and still beautiful. And that's what makes the song really stand out. And for that reason alone, I have to give this song an A. I guess that's it for this first broken review. Peace, love, unity.